Over $122,000 for this Lincoln Navigator. Completely redesigned, now it's all different. And of course, the price always goes up. $122,000 for your Lincoln Navigator. You better get ready to pay, but of course, what are you expecting out of Lincoln? It's gonna cost you. But a lot of people are not happy with Lincoln's new redesign. Everything's going more touchscreen, obviously less physical buttons. Just to get to your AC, you gotta do this and that and all this stuff. $48,000. Lincoln Corsair, yeah, not cheap at all, but you got to think this is just a small SUV. At least it's in the 50s or 40s, I guess. You can go to a Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealership and possibly not even find a small SUV. I mean, if you're lucky, you will find a vehicle that's under 50 grand, but sometimes it's hard if they don't have any, let's say, Jeep Compasses or something like that. But as you see, the Lincoln dealership has plenty of inventory. So if you're looking at any of these vehicles, a Nautilus, a Navigator, anything on this lot is gonna be below MSRP. There's no question about it right now. Now let's see here, woo, $80,000 Lincoln Nautilus, and look, 2025. So it is interesting because, I mean, 6 months ago, most Lincoln dealerships, especially like with the Navigators, all they had was the old generation, the 2024 model, I believe. So it is kind of interesting. All they had is that, and then now all of a sudden. So they must have been given huge discounts or some sort of rebate in order to sell the old design, because I'm not seeing any of them, but we might see it on the lot. We'll see. Here we go, 67,000. Must be a little bit of a lower trim level Nautilus, but still 70 grand after you pay tax and everything. Now there is a little addendum sticker. Let's look at that, because every vehicle I'm seeing has them basically. We don't like addendum stickers. It's just gonna lower sales, but luxury dealerships do it more than ever, because more than any other dealer, let's put it that way. Whoa, $130,000 Lincoln Navigator, yeah, 2025. Let's see. Whoa, 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 Bill Knight blackout package. Whoa. I don't know what's going on up there. Maybe, oh, I see the wheels. Wow, you want some wheels? There you go. Some 24s on your $130,000, and you're gonna pay $7,500 for it, but $130,000 on your Navigator gets you some aftermarket wheels, man. 24s on your Lincoln Navigator, that's $130,000. But something to keep in mind with this dealership is they will give you the original wheels and tires because you paid for it. So the original wheels and tires in that vehicle, if you want them, they will give them to you. That is something that I learned directly from the owner. So any aftermarket stuff they do, but I mean, $7,500 for a blackout package. It might be more than the wheels and tires, but still, that's a lot of money for what it is. And you want aftermarket wheels on your $130,000 Lincoln. It's pretty funny if you think about it, but let's see what's going on here. A lot of inventory throughout, a lot of inventory. Let's see, $70,000 on this one. Yeah, they're not playing around. 70 grand, at least I'm not seeing an addendum sticker on these, but most of the vehicles have some sort of package. Now let's see. There's some more down here. As you see, it's completely full. So Lincoln and Volvo dealerships like this have never been high volume sales dealerships, but they can make more per unit because you're talking about luxury vehicles that cost more money, and the manufacturer makes more and the dealership makes more per unit. $68,000, 2025 Lincoln Aviator. But surprisingly, Lincoln's having an okay year compared to last year. It's doing a little better, but a lot of them have been redesigned and all this stuff. Anytime there's a redesign, normally it builds excitement, but it definitely needed it with the last generation. But honestly, anytime they redesign it, they kind of make it worse when it comes to more touch screens and all sorts of stuff that just makes the vehicle more annoying for a lot of people. And then think about the clientele base. You're not talking about, I mean, I guess they're trying to get to the younger generation, but a lot of it, there's a lot of older people that like their Lincolns, and they're gonna come back and buy it, but not if you have to go through the screen and do all this stuff. They'll just keep what they have, you know? And that's what a lot of them are saying right now, because they are very expensive. They're also Ford, the recall king, so you're probably gonna have some sort of issues and have to take your Lincoln in over and over again because there's an issue with it. So a lot of people don't want to deal with that. You're talking about luxury Ford here, luxury features, all sorts of leather and all these little gimmicks and stuff. All this stuff is going to break. So it's just going to be a complete disaster. But let's see here. Yeah, 47,000. At least there's something. 2025, and yeah, they just had the window tint on the others. But still, I mean, it is what it is. I guess some people, but $200, we've seen a lot worse. But as you see, this is their used car section, all the way in the front, in the middle, because we're at a Lincoln Volvo dealer, and they have to offset the sales. They need to increase that volume. because they're not selling that many Lincolns or Volvos. You know, any luxury dealership, Cadillac across the street, they prioritize these used cars because that's where they can get their volume up. So it is interesting. Inventory stacking up. So if you're in the market for any sort of Lincoln, it's discount, discount, discount. There's plenty of dealerships. All of them are completely full. You got to think the dealer's paying interest on these vehicles if they're floor planning their inventory, which most of them are, because add this stuff up, you're talking, what, $2-3 million worth of inventory sitting outside right now? So the dealer has to make payments on it, and he wants to sell this stuff. The longer it sits, the more he pays in interest. So he's trying to sell it, and at the end of the day, they got to give discounts. And that's what's going on. But are the discounts even enough? For most, they're saying no. But just keep in mind the market has shifted. So don't ever pay over MSRP. I would say even if they add wheels, don't pay over MSRP for any sort of vehicle, especially a Lincoln with wheels, because that's going to go right down the drain. You guys know that. Let me know what you think. Have a great day, and stay blessed.